back, everybody, to Hour 2, the second hour of October 1st, 2013. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition. We're going to cross the pond to jolly old England and talk to Mike, who's been on hold for a while, with a question about pulmonary hypertension. Hey, Mike, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. Thank you for taking my call.
What's happening, Mike? Are you an expat or are you a Brit? What's going on?
Well, my citizenship's in heaven, but I guess I'm technically an expatriate for a while.
How long have you lived over there?
Since '92 this time.
Very good. And how do you like it?
It's great. If you guys think the gas prices are high there, you don't have a clue.
Forget it, right? I know. Yeah, we're kind of spoiled here. I know. I get that. Now, what part of the island do you live in?
Near Cambridge.
Oh, very nice. And how was your summer? What's the summertime like in Cambridge, England?
Well, it was pretty nice here. We went away to Crete for a while, but everyone that was here was saying it's probably one of the warmest they've had, in living memory.
Really? Very, very nice. And does it really rain as much as everybody says that it does?
It's just mildewy wet for a long time, from sort of October, November sometimes, usually till around April, May.
Yeah, it's like the Pacific
You never get enough sun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I lived in Seattle for 12 years, and it was exactly the same. As a matter of fact, the last year that I lived in Seattle, it rained something crazy, man, like for 93 days in a row. I wanted to shoot myself, yeah. I think
people rust. They don't tan, do they?
They rust. And I think after my stint in the Pacific Northwest, I think that Starbucks became as successful as they did, as fast as they did, because they started in Seattle. And everybody is so down in the dumps in the winter in Seattle, and I mean everybody, because of the weather, and it is oppressive, that, everybody's jonesing for something to lift them up. And if you put an espresso shop on every corner, guess what? They're all going to be busy. I don't think Starbucks could have pulled that off in Miami when they first started. But I think that's why they got as big as they did, as fast as they did, because they started in the gloom capital of the world. Isn't that something?
Yeah. Good point.
But anyway, Mike, thanks for the call. How can I help?
Well, just one thank you for your webinars. I think anyone who doesn't sign up for those is crazy. I think it's the best deal for education anywhere.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate the pat on the back. We certainly have a lot of fun with the webinars, don't we? I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's an international community. It's people all over the world now. It's so much fun to hang out with people all over the world, and great questions. It's a great group of people, and the information is really compelling and interesting, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I appreciate the kudos, man. So what's your question?
Well, a few weeks ago you spoke to a young lady, a friend of mine, Kathy in Crete, and she had pulmonary hypertension.
Yeah.
And I think you specified for her a anti-aging Healthy Heart Pack, I think it was. With
that's right.
Selenium
and extra calcium. Yeah. Yep.
Yes, and extra calcium. And so I emailed her and asked, how you doing? Because it's been a few weeks, and I think she's had the products maybe 2 to 3 weeks now. Yep. And she said, well, she's just not feeling better right now. In fact, I think for a few days she was taking way too much in the beginning. Didn't realize the dosing. Right. So when we got that in order, the diarrhea stopped, and then
life is better when the diarrhea stops, right?
Yeah, but I think she was taking like 3 times what she should have or something.
Oh yeah.
But but she came back today and said, well, I haven't been feeling better at all. Actually, I'm feeling weaker. She's noticing going upstairs is much harder now. She went to a cardiologist, and he said that the right side of her heart is working harder, and she's been having dizziness, and I asked, is that vertigo dizzy, or is it just kind of like fuzzy dizzy, like, spinning or just kind of losing it? And she said, well, it's just dizzy, like unbalanced. So she stands in line. She feels like she's falling. And I said, well, is your blood pressure low? I know the title is pulmonary hypertension, but to me it sounded like low blood pressure. She said, well, her normal blood pressure is about 85/60. Mm-hmm. So, she's got that going on. She started going to some naturopathic, or there's a different word, a specialist about a year or two ago, a homeopath, she said, to get some relief from some of this vertigo and labyrinthitis.
Yeah.
She went to another ear specialist and said, no, you don't have that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
And so she said she started getting some sensation down her left side, with sometimes going numb in her arm and legs.
Yeah.
So I think right now the thing she's just dying for is just to get some relief, get some energy, and to get rid of the Hickman catheter.
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. People need to understand, and this is a big disconnect, and I don't care where you are in the world. This is not a U.S. thing. This is a pharmaceutical thing all around the world. Hold on just a sec.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing around the world because of, thank you, we've been inculcated to believe in the quick fix, right? I mean, for goodness sake, you take the antibiotic and 2 days later the strep throat's gone. You take the antacid and 2 hours later the heartburn's gone. You take the Excedrin and 15 minutes later the headache's gone. So people need to understand that chronic disease, most of the time, is a long-term degenerative process. It's like the straws that broke the camel's back that have been building up for a long, long time. And then all of a sudden the camel's back is broken, and now you're in the weeds, now you're in trouble, and now we need to fix it. Well, how do we fix it? Well, we give the body the stuff that it needs to support and promote its optimal structure and function, and keep our fingers crossed, seeing how the body is able to fix it to the best of its ability. But fixing something that's broken is quite a bit different than just managing the symptoms. It's much harder to fix the mold than it is to just paint over it. It's much harder to do that, and it takes a lot longer. So for everybody, the deal is clean up your diet. Now, if she had trouble with diarrhea, she needs to stop the 10 bad foods immediately. Because one of the reasons people get diarrhea is because, yeah, they take too much of the stuff in too concentrated a dose, and or they're still eating wheat, barley, rye, oats, fried food, oil in a bottle, this stuff, etc., etc. This stuff causes inflammation in the intestinal tract, which causes the destruction of villi, which makes it harder for the body to absorb anything, especially super concentrated nutrients. So she has to clean up the diet and be on the spot with the proper dosage of the supplements every day for 12 weeks, or 12 weeks, 90 days. 90 days, 3 months. She's got to clean the diet up, take the appropriate amount of the supplements every day for 3 months before we change anything. There's nothing to do here except make sure she's cleaned up her diet and she's taken the stuff in the appropriate dosage for the appropriate amount of time. You can't force the tomato, right? You can't force the tomato to ripen. It's going to ripen in its own time. Now, 90 days, especially for females, especially if female is under 150 pounds, 150 pounds or less, is plenty of time to see something noticeable, measurable, and remarkable improve. And once we get one thing to improve inside of 90 days, then it's just a matter of time until the rest of it rolls around to our benefit. Now, it's interesting because from our point of view, pulmonary hypertension, one of the main causative factors is not enough calcium and magnesium. Labyrinthitis, one of the main causative factors is not enough calcium and magnesium. Numbness in the extremities, one of the main causative factors, not enough calcium and magnesium. So I think that all of the things that she's bothered by are different arms of the same octopus, and that, she just needs to give her body a break and give the program time in order to produce a result, because the game of healing is a process. It's not an event, and it takes time for it to play itself out. And so what I would tell her is just, don't worry. Give the program 90 days. Make sure hold her hand and make sure she's doing the doses appropriately, right? And that her diet is cleaned up, and then it's just 1 week at a time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Yes, I remember when my wife started having children, that They said if you want to lose the weight, it takes twice as long to get it off as it does to put it on.
Well, that's the thing, right? You know, I mean, think about it. That's just life. I mean, you can blow up a house in, 3 seconds? But, you know, it takes 3 years to build a house, for goodness sake. It takes a lot longer. But inside of the zone of healing, I mean, when we really and truly dial in a therapeutic that's actually going to heal the body, to actually fix stuff rather than just medicate symptoms under the rug, then once we've got that dialed in, well, son of a gun, the body responds. And if we're mindful enough, we can start to see something improve every couple of weeks, right? And it might not be the stuff we want to get better. It might not be the pain in the shoulder or the high blood pressure, you know, that's our chief complaint. Maybe it's our mood or our appetite or our sleep or our energy or whatever brightens up and improves a little bit. And if we're mindful of all of that, it's a much easier road, because then we can, you know, we've got little inspirational points that we can hang our hat on to make us hold tight for 7 more days type of a deal. But that's the thing, Mike. It's a process, not an event. And honest to God, if she dials this program in like I told her to, and cleans up her diet, and does that for 90 days, if nothing happens in 90 days, I'll eat my hat. And it's a good point. I would counsel her the next time that she feels lightheaded like that, or dizzy, take her blood pressure in that moment and see what it is, because it may in fact be too low. And if it is, then that's a drug reaction problem. She needs to cut down the amount or intensity, frequency of the dosage of her prescription medication. It's one or the other. It might be related to that. It might have nothing to do with it. It could be. It's worth taking a look at, which makes you, Mike, the smartest man in England. Thanks for everything that you do, man, and keep up the good work. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. We're going to go to Utah in Georgia to talk about gastritis when we come back. Hey, do you want to get away? Well, get away to Youngevity and join Team Glidden. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the Join Youngevity button and let us take you for the ride of your life. Going to Georgia now to talk to Utah. Hello, Utah. What's up?
Hey there, Dr. Glidden. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate that.
I'm happy to help. How can I help?
Yes, I got a friend. She is 50 years old, a little bit over 200 pounds. She's been diagnosed with IBS, gastritis, no gallbladder, and she's on a budget.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody's on a budget, right?
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, I'm on a budget. Everybody's on a budget. It's a crazy economy, and the solution. Are you a Youngevity person, Utah?
Yes, I am, and I've been on your product. Oh my God, now for about 6 months.
And how do you feel?
Actually, I feel definitely better, and I don't have no problem ordering the stuff. But in her case, it's she's tight on money, so. But I feel great. Yeah, it has helped me tremendously. I cannot brag about that enough.
Yeah, you got to love it right now. One of the people that just won my contest in September is the person that brought you into Youngevity.
Yeah. Yes, I used to work with him at Havity's, and I'm still working at Havity's, and he's gone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's gone, right? Because he's rocking with the business. Now, I'm going to answer your question, Utah, but I'm intrigued here a little bit about your own experience with your own health. Could you give me a little insight into what happened to you since you've been taking the stuff?
Oh, my gosh, I lost a few pounds.
Well, how many?
I don't know quite. Well, probably close to 35. Yeah, absolutely.
35 pounds. How many months?
Now, this has been going on for over a year now, because I was on a similar product, but really feeling good and not having the bloating anymore, and just being in a better mood and full of energy. That is going on for probably about 6 months now,
Wow, you got
I love the rebound. Oh my God, I'm going to be 62, and I have quite a bit of grass to mow, and I'm telling you that will do the trick. I feel awesome.
Yeah. So before the Youngevity stuff, you had a lot of gastrointestinal trouble and hardly any.
Energy
was a problem.
Very much, and living in the bathroom. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of nausea, waking up at night and feeling like I would have to throw up. A lot of dizziness. A lot of dizziness.
Really?
So, yeah, the doctors never knew. Well, they didn't know anyway, but don't know where that came from. But I think my body was just totally drained of all the nutrients.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I feel awesome.
Well, it's kind of like a rebirth of sorts, right?
Almost,
reborn at 60, what, 3, 4 years of age?
One now. It's going to be 62 end of the year.
Gotta love it, gotta love it, gotta love it, Uta. Well, God bless you. And so here's what we do to support and promote the digestive system of someone who doesn't have a gallbladder and who's suffering with GI symptoms. The recommendation for Foundation Boilerplate Medical Nutrition Assistance is the Healthy Digestion Pack. And selenium, selenium appropriate for body weight. So it's 1 healthy digestion pack and 2 selenium per 100 pounds.
Okay.
And as a little extra help, for 1 or 2 months, you can also give her 1 bottle of Mackey Plus, M-A-Q-U-I, Mackey Plus.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, 1 or 2 bottles of Mackey Plus a month. Now, if budgetary concerns are a problem, this is going to get a little tricky. So what would I do for the absolutely, positively least amount of money here? Well, what I would do is I would give her every month 1 bottle of the plant minerals, the plant-derived minerals.
Okay.
1 bottle of the Mackey Plus. And 1 bottle of the root beer, 1 box of the root beer belly. I'd give her 1 box of the root beer belly, 1 bottle of Mackey Plus, and 1 bottle of the plant-derived minerals.
Okay.
Ever just do those 3 things. Now, the other thing is we need not overlook the I'm sorry, because the gallbladder, she needs 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Enzymes. Yeah. Okay,
I thought so. Yeah, that's what I take too. I don't get one either.
Yeah, great. And also, well, that's half of your problem, right? The other thing is, of course, it's the obvious, but we don't want to overlook it. No wheat, no barley, no rye, no oats, right?
Yeah, she's got to shape up with that. I know she's not all the way there yet. And
don't be afraid, Utaf, of showing people who are on a budget the business opportunity. But I'm telling you the truth, that one of the most successful people in longevity, his name is Rich Stocks. He's a multi-million-dollar earner with the company. He's been with the company for 17 years. When he started, he was so broke, he had to collect bottles and cans and turn them in at the recycling center for, 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, until he could collect the $5 enrollment fee. That's how broke he was. Now he's a $1 million earner. If he can do it, you can do it, anybody can do it. And how do we do it? We do it by lifting up our community, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Keep up the good work, Utah. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you. Going to boogie on off to Washington right now to talk to Daniel about a dosage question. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
I called about 4 months ago, and you suggested I take some things here, and I'm not sure about how much of the selenium I should take. You suggested 4 bottles a month.
Oh, well, how much do you weigh, Daniel?
150 pounds.
Yeah, 4 bottles would be the maximum amount, and, we know what the minimum dosage for selenium is, but nobody really knows what the maximum dosage is. There are way too many variables to predict. Selenium is really the only supplement that you can effectively overdose with it, but if you start to overdose with selenium, you get signs and symptoms first before there's any real physical damage. So signs of an overdose of selenium are your breath starts to get a fishy, garlicky odor or taste to it, number 1. Your hair starts to get funky, like it gets drier and more brittle than normal, and or your fingernails start to get weak. So if either one of those 3 things happen, you have a problem with the dosage and you need to cut it back by a bottle a month. Have any of those things happened?
No, I was actually wondering more specifically, because you said 4 a month, but how many a day? It says up to 3, but it sounded like you wanted me to take more than 3 a day.
Yeah. So that's a great question, Daniel. The longevity, of course, sells millions of vitamins a month, right, all around the world. And because we're such a litigious society, remember a couple of years ago when that person bought a cup of coffee at McDonald's and spilled it on themselves and burned themselves?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? And then they sued McDonald's and got like $1 million or something. That was crazy, right? Well, that's called tort. In the world of law, that's called tort law, where people can sue people for whatever. You know, I don't like the way you look at me, so I'm going to sue you. And whenever you hear the word tort reform, you know, on TV or in, you know, dinner parties or whatever, that's what people are talking about, because the way that laws are set up in the U.S. now, you can just sue people for stupid reasons like, holy smokes, I spilled coffee on me and I didn't know it was going to be hot, right? You're a knucklehead. And that's also why you see all these stupid things, you know, like you'll see a shower cap, right? Next time you go to a hotel, if they have a shower cap there, look at the box. It says fits one head. It's like, really? You had to tell me that? You had to put that on the box? Or on the iron on my hotel. I just came back from a hotel in New York City, and on the iron it said, do not iron clothes while wearing them. It's like, really? You've got to be kidding me. Well,
they need some common sense vitamins for some people.
There you go. And so because of all of this ridiculousness, you know, Youngevity puts dosages on the bottle so that some knucklehead somewhere doesn't, you know, swallow a bottle an hour of something and you know, then give themselves a trouble. And so it's really just to cover their butts legally.
Yeah.
And the basic rule of thumb here is, you know, if you're talking to me or Dr. Wallach or somebody else in Youngevity, if the recommendation is a bottle a month, then count how many capsules are in the bottle, right? There's usually 60, 120, or 240 caps in a bottle, and then divide that by the number of days in the month. So if there's 60 caps in a bottle, that would be 60 divided by 30. That's 2 capsules a day. And then we would spread that dose out. So 1 capsule twice a day. So 1 bottle of selenium, there's 90 caps in 1 selenium. So that's 1 bottle equals 3 capsules a day.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 bottles, right, would be 12 capsules a day.
12, okay. I wasn't sure if I was taking too much. 12 seemed like a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what I take a day, and you can do that 4, 4, and 4, 6 and 6, 3, 3, 3 and 3, 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2, or whatever. As long as you get 12, I wouldn't take 12 at once.
No, of course not.
Yeah, spread them out. Now, selenium, of course, is a mineral, and Youngevity's calling card in the world of nutritional supplements is the minerals that they have. Nobody has a mineral supplement that even comes close to Youngevity's. Nobody. And the problem with minerals is when we swallow a mineral, if we have just eaten a food that has phytates in it, and you spell that with a P-H-Y, phytate. Mm-hmm. If you've eaten a food that has a phytate in it, the phytate will bind to the mineral, and you'll poop the mineral out before you absorb it.
That's like almonds, right?
Yeah, so almonds, you're smart. So almonds, peanuts, spinach, beans, rice, a lot of food has phytates in it. So it's best, what I advise people to do is take the selenium or the mineral supplements that Youngevity has between meals. You know, as long as your stomach can handle it. And if your stomach can't handle it, you know, have a couple of bites of an apple or a handful of raisins or half of a banana or a piece of cheese or something in order to settle your stomach down. So, because it's much better to get into the habit of either that or you have to just be completely Johnny on the spot aware that you're not eating phytates. That can be kind of a pain in the neck. But that's really the basic rule of thumb here. And be advised that medical nutrition fails for 2 reasons. Number 1, you didn't take the appropriate dose. You know, you took a half of the dose that you should have, or you didn't absorb what you're taking. So once we've dialed the proper dosage in and we've given it enough time to be effective, then the only other thing to dial in is elimination of the 10 bad foods and a heads up on the phytates and stuff like that. And have you noticed any positive change at all since you've been on this program?
I started making enough money to start buying all the stuff I needed. So I just started like last month, taking it in the middle of last month.
Okay, great. All right. Now, and when you came into Youngevity, did you come in as a customer or as a business builder?
Customer.
Okay, so you can upgrade to become a business builder for $10. You can join Youngevity for $10, and Youngevity.
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah, so what you want to do, Daniel, is lean on, so call Longevity, call their customer service number. It's right there on every bottle of everything that they have. And say, I'm a customer now and I'd like to become a business builder. I'd like you to put me in touch with someone in my organization who's really good at business building. And Longevity will, they have their computer and they're able to look and to see who's in your network above you. And then they'll give you that person's name and phone number. And you call them up and say, hey, I'm Daniel. I'm in your downline. I want to know how to do the business. And then it becomes their job to hold your hand and teach you how to do the business as quickly or as slowly as you want to be taught. And that's how we do it. So you have to be a squeaky wheel at first. You have to find the person in the organization who's successful at building the business. Even if they're 100 levels above you, find them, call them up, and say, hey, I'm your man. Teach me how to do this, and that's how we do it. And that's all free. Right? There's no charge for that. I mean, it's free. It's free training. And I got to tell you something, Daniel. Yeah, it is good to know. And look, man, the potential for making money here is gigantic. I mean, it's gigantic. It's way better than compound interest. It's way better than a JOB. It's way better than working for any type of corporation in the United States. The only thing that would be better than joining Longevity is if you were the owner of a corporation, right? Right. That would be the only time that it would be better. So don't be shy to the business opportunity, because it's not what you think it is. It's way more fun than you think it is. And if you get trained by somebody appropriately, you start making money within the first 4 weeks, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
Yeah, well, I work at a post-hospital rehabilitation place where I see people with Alzheimer's and just all this crazy stuff. And
oh, my God. How do you do it?
There's one guy there that was just listening to everything I had to say about vitamins and stuff, and then this other guy was just not having it. So it's pretty motivating.
Yeah, well, the sower had good seed. And the best way, I'll give you a little training right now, the single best way to drag people into the light of medical nutrition is to bring them to the expert rather than trying to become the expert. Because if you listen to the show long enough, you're going to know more than most medical doctors in this country about what's really going on with illness. You just will. And you'll know what to do. But it's hard to convince your neighbor or your customer that you know more than Dr. Oz does, and they're not going to listen to you. But if you point them to one of my webinars, if you give them one of my CDs or DVDs or one of Dr. Wallach's CDs or DVDs.
Dr. Wallach's book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, so.
All right, so use the CDs. Use the CDs in the webinars. They're more effective. Okay. Use the CDs in the webinars. They're more effective. We're visual. That's why YouTube exploded, right? Because we love watching stuff. Yeah. So if you bring people to the webinars, so here's the pitch. I know a doctor that says you don't have to suffer with that. If I send you a link to this webinar, if I send you a link to this video, if I lend you this DVD, will you watch it? That's all you have to say. And if you do that 10 times a week, in a year from now, you will not even recognize your bank account, as God is my witness.
Awesome. Can't wait.
All right, Daniel. Keep up the good work. I appreciate your trust. I appreciate the call back. Give me a call in a couple weeks with an update. I appreciate everything that you do. From Washington State all the way to Arkansas, talk to Mark about high blood pressure. Hey, Mark. Thanks for calling. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, how are you, sir?
I am great, man, but I'll get better. What's happening?
Well, first of all, I want to say I love you. Love everything that you stand for, everything that you preach and you live. I live the same thing. Real quickly here, I had gastritis, acid reflux years ago. About 15 years ago, doctors told me I would have to take medication for the rest of my life.
Ouch.
Changed my diet. It went away within 1 week. After 15 years, $15,000 in credit card bills because I didn't have the insurance wouldn't cover it.
Unbelievable.
Yes, sir. Just last year, I was feeling kind of weird. I've been a raw foodist for 5 years. I started feeling really bad, didn't know what was going on. Went to the doctor. He told me I had high blood pressure. I asked him, I'm 145 pounds. Of course, I'm not overweight. My diet is not bad. Why? He told me, basically, he said, SHI, you know the rest of the letters, happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he got
yeah.
fired. He got fired on the spot. It's crazy. I went to another doctor. She told me that my vitamin D was low. That turned out to be correct. But she told me the way he prescribed me the high blood pressure medication was incorrect. So she gave me the proper dosage, but I still felt bad. Didn't know why. Vitamin D came up. I still felt bad. And eventually, with diet, I think I got over that. I've been taking the high blood pressure medication for the last almost year. I still can't sleep without taking some sort of medication. And I've just been searching to find the answer. And I discovered you. Got your book. Your book. I'm kind of excited, right? I can't think of the name of the book. With the gun to the man, you know. I got your book.
The MD Emperor has no clothes. Yeah,
right.
That's a
wonderful book.
It's a catchy phrase, right? Yeah.
And last week I heard you say about your blood pressure and how the MDs and the people change the numbers to make it where you have high blood pressure. So last Friday I stopped taking the medication. It still kind of goes up and down, but it's never, both of my numbers are never up so high that it will cause me a problem.
All right, but look, the game is afoot here. The game is afoot here, especially if you're having trouble falling asleep. And these are two arms of the same octopus. These are two arms of the same octopus. I see this in raw foodists all of the time. I'll dial it in for you when we come back. Stick around, Mark. I'll dial this in for you when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, my new best friend's on the line. Mark from Arkansas. Great minds think alike. Stick around. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Finishing out the second part of October 1st, 2013. We're talking to Mark in Arkansas. You still with me, buddy? Come on in, Mark. You still with me?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Very good. All right. So, in the wonderful world of medical nutrition, there's a funny thing that I learned, and I learned this from Dr. Wallach, and it's been one of the most substantial things that I've ever learned, and it was right in front of my face, and I missed it. It's impossible for our bodies to get the nutrients that we need just from eating food. You can't do it. I mean, you can't do it. So even if you're a fruitarian or a vegetarian or a vegan or a raw food person, you could own 100 acres of the best organic farmland in the world and only eat your stuff. You'd still be nutrient deficient because of the mineral thing in the soil. So it's my supposition, based on your health history, that you need more calcium. You just do. So, and because now the benefit that your body has over somebody else's body, because of your the diet, the way that it's been, for how long have you been a raw food guy?
5 years.
All right. Well, look, man, raw foodists respond to mineral supplementation and medical nutrition in a freaking heartbeat. You know, I mean, I give a raw foodist medical nutrition program, and in 7 days, boom! It's like, oh my God!
Wow. Yeah.
I give somebody who's been eating the standard American diet, meat and potatoes, a program takes 3 months before they start to feel it. So, what's your current body weight right now?
145.
All right. So here's what I would do for 4 weeks. Right, I would do 1 healthy start pack. 1 bottle of Cal Toddy, 1 healthy start pack, 2.0, 1 bottle of Cal Toddy, that's C-A-L, like calcium, 1 bottle of Cal Toddy, and 3 bottles of selenium. 3 bottles of selenium a month, 1 bottle of Cal Toddy a month, and 1 healthy start pack 2.0. That's it. And I want you to please take 1 ounce of the Cal Toddy in a little bit of orange juice immediately before bed. A little, like 2-3 ounces of orange juice. And if that, doesn't work for you for whatever reason, you can put the Cal Toddy in a little bit of water. That's okay. Orange juice is better, but water is okay. I want you to do that, however, immediately before bed. All right? The rest of the stuff, you can spread it out over the course of the day. So the dose for you, in the Healthy Start Pack, there's 3 things. It's the Beyond Tangy Tangerine Vitamin Powder. It's 1 scoop in 12 ounces of water twice a day. 1 scoop in 12 ounces of water twice a day. Conversely, you could put 2 scoops in 24 ounces of water, but if you do that, I want you to take at least 2 hours to drink it down.
Okay.
1 scoop in 12 ounces, I want you to take an hour to drink that down. All right? So do that once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and put the whole thing together and take a couple of hours to drink it. The second thing is an essential fatty acid supplementation. Do you do fish? Are you vegetarian?
Yeah, I don't do fish.
Oh, all right. So then you're going to have to do a different healthy pack. It's called the Shellfish-Free Healthy Pack. I believe that's the name of it, the Shellfish-Free Healthy Pack. Don't quote me on that, though. I'm going to have one of my assistants look that up for me real quick. But we have an essential fatty acid supplementation that comes from plants, and you need it in order to prevent stroke. I believe it's called the Shellfish-Free Healthy Pack 2.0. So 3 of the essential fatty acids a day. You can do 3 all at once or 1 capsule 3 times a day. It doesn't matter. The last thing in that package is a white, it's a canister of powdered freeze-dried calcium, powdered freeze-dried calcium. The dose for you is in that bottle of calcium, the canister of calcium is a little scoop. The recommendation is 1 level scoop per day. So I want you to put 1 level scoop of that in with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. 1 level scoop of that in with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine mixture when you make it. The only thing left for you is the selenium. If you're going to be doing 3 bottles of that a month, then you're going to need 3 capsules 3 times a day. 3 capsules 3 times a day. You already know what to do with the Caltati, and that's how I want you to take it. Do that program religiously for 4 weeks, and then call me back. Call me back when you start sleeping through the night. Watch what happens to your mood, your energy, and your sleep. And within 2-3 weeks, you're going to love what happens to your blood pressure. Keep up the good work down there, Mark. I appreciate the kind words. And remember, you are the tipping point between health and disease, wealth and poverty in your community. Step on up with longevity, and let's make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, see you tomorrow.